And now we join the gentlemen of Supraliminal Films for a fireside chat.
Hello, and welcome to Fireside Chats with your friends from Supraliminal Films. Sitting in as our guest this week is the oft-heard on our podcast and oft-talked about on a lot of things we do.
And currently very squished.
Yes.
Super squished.
And currently somewhat of a sardine.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
Tim Erwin.
Hi! Tim Erwin's here.
And I'm Dan.
Paul.
And Max.
Just like the podcast.
Yes.
Just like the podcast.
Not the regular order. I don't know when to say my name.
Just take the beat for Jared and then say Paul.
Jared could have said Jared. He's sitting back there.
Cameraman say cameraman things?
Yeah, come on.
I love the idea of him still just doing it so that Paul doesn't get confused.
I almost did.
So Tim, I read the Tales from the Dark Side comic.
Was it good?
It was.
Okay, good. Very good.
He told me about it. It seems very interesting.
Yeah,
I would like to read.
Joe Hill's just taking scripts he was going to use for the CW TV series. They were supposed to revive it. He's just like, well, they're not bringing it back. I'll just cut it up a little bit and make comic books out of it.
Joe Hill's amazing.
Yeah.
It's a pretty cool idea. It's a pretty cool idea. So, as is our way here on Fireside Chat, we have wine. Paul is currently opening. You can see him struggling over there. And Tim also has decided to join in. And
It's my fault.
Yeah.
it was Tim's idea originally. I think
It's
we
my
mentioned this in
fault.
the first episode. It was Tim's idea that an episode of Fireside Chat should last as long as it takes Paul. Or no, should last, or Paul should drink wine. Or was your thing it should last as long as...
It was, the whole idea was
Yeah.
his. It should take, the length should be the equivalent of Paul drinking a bottle of wine.
Yeah.
And I was kidding, because no human being should do that. So here I am.
Absolutely no human being should do two in one
So,
night.
so you guys should introduce what you're drinking.
You want to go first? Or you wanna go first?
I'm drinking Santani.
It's very Italian. Everything on that fucking bottle is in Italian.
Yeah, it is. Classico.
Solane Santi.
What kind of wine is it?
Classico Superior.
Do we know what kind of wine it is?
Rapasso.
Yeah, I have literally no idea.
Okay.
It's all...
I like it when you say the words just in any old order. God knows what this
He's
is.
just reading all around the
Solane.
sticker.
Rapazzo!
It's Boyardi, chef. Rigatoni.
D?
It's on there.
Tim, what are you drinking?
I got Valenzano Chamung Labrusca, which is local-ish to us.
Yeah,
It's
Seven
not
Sweet.
brewed. It's called Chamung, and it's not brewed by Michael Jackson.
It
That's
is.
Chemung. This is from Chemung, New Jersey.
Yes, and I picked it because it is billed as semi-sweet and slightly foxy,
Just like Tim.
with a subtle earthliness.
Just
All
like
right.
Tim.
And it's probably not super dry then, which is good.
It could be terrible, and if it's terrible, this is gonna be rough.
Partially dried, aged in wood
Ooh, wood.
for 15 months.
That's an old wine.
It's 2011.
That is an old wine.
This is probably brand new.
I was probably put in that bottle 3 days ago.
Yes, this used to be grapes.
For sale in New Jersey only. That's interesting.
No idea. Yeah, interesting.
This is the most
Anyone else will
wines.
straight up die if they do that.
You have to...
You have to have like 90% lead in your water.
You have to be seasoned as a New Jersey resident in order to have that wine correctly.
Keeping your lid above water.
Making your way in the world. Temporary blindness. Lead water.
Here we go. Good times.
Dynamite.
Ain't we lucky we got him. How is it, Tim?
Tastes like Chamung.
I think that's a negative review. It would taste like part of New Jersey. That is not positive.
It's made with the water here.
It tastes like Lake Hopatcong. All of Lake Hopatcong.
Paul, how's your various words?
Tastes like wine.
Tastes like wine?
Are you
Does
any
it taste
better
like
at
wood?
Italian?
Maybe.
He's realized now it's actually Chef Boyardee Rigatoni.
Yeah, he knows what order Italian words are supposed to go in.
That's great.
Well, so you're our guest. Tim, entertain us.
Are you Thomas Hayden Church and I'm Paul Giamatti, or is it the other way around? Because I don't mind being Thomas Hayden Church.
I think he should be Paul Giamatti for obvious reasons.
Okay.
Because how ugly I am.
Because your name is Paul! Because of how ugly I am. You're terrible.
Because you look like
We're going to be
Harvey
deeply
Picard.
depressed by the end of these bottles.
Yeah. Paul was deeply depressed after the end of the last bottle of wine I saw him drink.
We were all deeply depressed at the end of the last bottle of wine Paul drank.
Yeah, I had to clean my bathroom. Paul painted my bathroom with vomit.
I'll try not to do that.
Here's the thing: is Paul's ruined. You know what I mean? Like basically, I'm left, right? Like I'm the last one. Though I was involved in both because he threw up and hit the side of my car, and then I had to hold him while he peed and pick him up from the ground when he was laying in his own vomit, singing slave songs,
Laying in his own filth,
Yeah.
singing old Negro spirituals.
Yep. That's what happens when you drink too much at a wedding and end up in a Wawa parking lot. On the parking lot, on the pavement.
It straight smells like rancid jelly over here. It smells like bad grape jelly on this couch.
This is the Smuckers.
The
vintage.
Smuckers Valenzano Chamung vintage.
The Shamung Smuckers.
It makes your lips smack.
I just look at it like it's going to tell me something. I don't,
What wisdom do you have to impart in me?
tell me, Mystic One.
Oh, mystic winded one.
So what's new with the podcast? What's going on
What's
there?
new with Tim?
New with Tim?
Yeah.
I am, as always, trying to do way too much.
Yep.
But I
like
think,
Tim.
but I think like I'm making headway on some of it.
How much is that way?
The cat's on it.
See.
So-
see. Is
so
the cat
the
in frame
mystery-
camera, Jared?
It's
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty great.
There you go. So
It's a lazy fat
guess
cat
we'll-
hanging out.
we'll talk specifics later.
Yeah, I guess.
If the cat wants to
If the
move.
cat deigns to move before Paul's done with
If
his
not,
wine.
it'll be a surprise.
Yeah.
We'll announce it some other time.
We can tweet about it.
Yeah, you just tweet about it.
You could always just put it on the green screen later.
Whoa!
Also true.
Yes, we're gonna put many things on the green screen.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Tim warned us beforehand that he's gonna have a lot of editing work for you with regard to.
Well, I may be
the
lazy
green
and just
screen
put it in the
fireplace.
space between us, but that's what I did with the Renaissance Fair picture.
Yeah, just overlay it.
Popped
in
it in
the-
there. It's like,
I mean,
who cares? I can just do whatever I want. I'm
well,
the boss.
You have negative space.
There's the
so-
boss.
What's up, boss?
Roscoe.
Roscoe the boss.
Roscoe.
Just a house full of animals here, so
Mm-hmm. I gotta get this over with.
It's like
This
Ace
is terrible.
Ventura.
I gotta get this over with. This is terrible.
Well,
I love your shamung. Your shamung, my favorite people.
we lost a
Look,
sponsor.
I gave you a very drunk
You
joke
are
early.
among my favorite people.
It's not true.
You are
I li-
among the worst.
I lied in pun form.
We are definitely going to lose a sponsor.
We aren't presently sponsored by the Valenzano Wine Company.
We're not?
No.
Oh.
We're just showing the label.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, let's.
Careful, Tim. We're gonna get sued. Yeah, there you go.
There it is.
Quiet boy, you want to get sued?
I can put the bars up like I did before. The top and the bottom.
Oh yeah,
The
yeah, yeah.
widescreen bars.
Yeah, frame out the
Yeah.
I dare you to sponsor us.
Valenzano.
No balls. No balls, Shamong.
But plenty of grapes.
Which are shaped like balls. Grapes are shaped like balls.
Oh,
So
they got the peanut butter and jelly sandwich squeezed in here.
doesn't it? Like it smells like
awful.
grape jelly. It smells like bad grape
Is
jelly.
yours good? Because this is terrible.
No, this is very bad.
I deserve this,
A
though.
bad wine experience. Yeah, this is your punishment for what you inflicted on my bathroom by virtue of making us do this.
Listen, that was really Paul's bad decision making and our bad decision
I
making.
drank a bottle of wine and then you guys let me make a decision.
There's a collection of bad
All
decisions.
right, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. You had an entire bottle of wine, and then the rest of us said, "Yeah, you're good to make decisions."
So, Tim, let me ask you this. Did you power wash the house?
Power wash the house?
Yeah.
No.
Still no, huh?
No. No power washing the house. I power washed the comic book store.
Did you?
30 North Main Street, Glassboro, New Jersey.
Is that what you were actually going to power wash, was the store?
I power washed the store.
Oh, wow. I thought you were going to power wash your house.
Well, someone who will remain nameless, who is not affiliated with the comic book store, because I don't want us to get sued, may have left some oil outside, some motor oil, and
Okay.
it may have rained insanely.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
motor oil may have overfloweth everywhere. So I tried to clean that up
You
as best I
kind
could.
of gotta power wash that.
You got to. It was terrible. It was awful.
And given how much environmental cleanup has happened in Glassboro recently, they probably appreciate you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
I did an okay job.
They've had to do a bunch of that thanks to all the construction project going on there. But
There's so much going on over there.
there is. Blew me away. They finally got rid of all the buildings in that block across the street from you.
Used to be my grade school. It's gone.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. But that's fine.
Yeah.
I didn't care.
Used to be a sweet bar across the street from the comic book store.
Used to be a bar.
Yeah.
Why wasn't I there then? Jesus.
Yeah, seriously.
Now you can't prove you went to grade school.
Yeah, no, it doesn't exist.
Can't tell people, like, I went there for grade school. I went to whatever that becomes.
I
for
stood
grade
in that
school.
lot for a while.
I spent the first couple of years of my life standing in that lot.
He just would go and sit down and pretend he was in school.
Yeah, my parents would drop me off. They said it was a school.
Turns out I never knew what a school was.
I was high school age when I wandered out of the woods and enrolled.
No wonder
That's
he
what
became
happened.
an artist.
Yeah. He didn't know any better.
Yeah.
I have no excuse.
He was just playing with chalk that whole time. He was just like,
Big murals.
yeah, I got really
Drawing
good
in the dirt.
illusions,
Yeah, yeah. I got really good at drawing, so it
drawing
just sort of happened.
things.
The dog is really
Eschewing all concept of what a glass might be, he's straight for the bottle.
At this point,
Yeah.
I haven't gotten through a glass.
you know what? I'm sorry. It's how I drink, obnoxiously.
All right, there you go.
I normally would, but this is really bad.
If you gotta put it down, you gotta put it down. You know.
Somebody's gonna have to put me down.
Yeah, seriously, you are power drinking that bottle.
I got places to be. Damn it! No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, that was when Max was just like, yeah, Tim said he's fitting us into his errands. I was like, and he plans on drinking a bottle of wine?
Yeah, sure.
So-
Don't drink and drive, kids.
Absolutely not, which is why Tim's going to stick around after we record this.
I've clearly made bad decisions already.
Yeah, I mean, look at his arms, the tattoos.
All
and
of these tattoos.
Yeah.
Look at the guys he's next to.
Yeah,
These
Yeah,
guys.
seriously.
Look what he's sandwiched between on the couch.
And the dog is really upset about it.
Well,
Dog
the
ain't having
dog
it.
smells, I'm sure.
The only thing he has going for him, he's a Pokemon pinball master.
Dude, I love Pokemon Pinball. I was playing it today.
Nice.
It's all I
New high
pretty
score?
much do. 300 million something
Yeah.
obnoxious, yeah. I feel like that's really good. It took me like 40 minutes of one game just to get that high.
Not bad.
So,
Not
I
bad.
like pinball a lot.
so do I.
You know you're a fan.
Are you talking
you're
about pinball with Al?
Yeah, Al loves pinball.
Yeah, we're talking about.
Yeah.
We gotta make a trip up to like that Asbury Park pinball museum.
I've been by it, but I didn't go in
Yeah.
that time we were up in Asbury.
Gotta do that.
It's really fun. My favorite pinball machine is probably the Family Guy pinball machine, which Family Guy, it's hit or miss for me, but like
Yeah.
the pinball machine is solid. It even has a little pinball machine inside of it that you can unlock, where Stewie's little pinball machine up in the corner.
Huh.
It's pretty fun.
That's cool.
It's a very good.
I know very little about pinball. CJ is big into pinball because that one Twitch streamer he watches does
yeah.
like pinball streams every Sunday.
He's got like legitimate pinball machines, and he's got them all cammed up and stuff, and he does
him
playing pinball.
That's
is a
pretty
playing,
great
also him
stream.
working on a few of them. I think.
Yeah, he'll
like he's
maintain
done.
them and everything. Yeah, it's a cool idea.
I used to work at a mall, so I would get my break and I would just go down to the arcade and play pinball. So that's why I know a couple different ones. I was playing the Lord of the Rings one,
Yeah.
and I just had to walk away from it because I got to the point where it's like, throw the ring in, and I'm like, just fucking throw it in. And wait, are we cursing? Are we allowed to curse?
Yeah, I did already.
All right, well, fucking throw it in, and it wasn't happening.
Fucking
and I
come
just
on.
walked away, and somebody's like, "What are you doing? You got like?" I'm like, "I don't care. I don't care." Sauron for life. Don't give a shit.
Sauron for life. I don't like. I like pinball, but it was never anything that I paid that much attention to. Like, a couple people I knew growing up had machines, so I played a favorite of those. But I couldn't tell you what they were. I know I'm a fan of the Addams Family, machine that was at like every arcade on the boardwalk in Ocean City growing up.
Yep.
Yeah, that's really about it for pinball for me. It's not really anything. Though, and we were talking about this earlier, retro gaming in general, speaking of arcades, arcade stuff is just great.
I agree.
And I love that we live in an age where we can have such access to it. Because you said you have one of the machines like the store does? Yes? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Does yours work better than theirs does?
Yeah, nobody messes it up.
Nobody fucked with it? Yeah.
Nobody like chewed on it.
Yeah, or did whatever the fuck they did to it. So
I don't even want to know.
yeah, so they have a Raspberry Pi powered retro video game machine at the
That's a
comic book
computer.
store. Yes, Raspberry Pi being a small
Not a delicious
Linux-based
pie.
computer. It is
Sadly.
not a delicious pie.
If you bring us
sadly.
pie, we'll share it with everybody.
Yes.
It will power us.
Yes, it will power us. But yeah, it's such a cool concept. So much so that Max and I are probably tabling, unfortunately, given my soon-to-be exit from the area, but working on a sweet Raspberry Pi idea ourselves that we will hopefully be able to bring to you in process here on the Supraliminal Films channel. At least I'd like to.
I have to like end up. You're leaving, so I'll just have to buy like the X Arcade.
I will murder you.
and then
if you-
just hook it up to that.
I will murder you if you buy 2 X Arcade controllers. They are garbage, and they're not worth what they're charging you.
But they're already built. The convenience.
Blah. Blah, convenience. Blah, that's what I say to convenience. Blah.
What are you doing, Roscoe?
Roscoe,
There it
man,
is.
calm your shit. There you go. Just
You
hang
want
out
some?
with
He's
Tim.
excited.
You want some jelly?
He wants some jelly.
There's so much stuff going on.
No,
There's
no. Let's
big
not do that.
lights that he's not used to. There's
That's true.
Giant
There's a bunch of
green
stuff he's not
thing.
used to. Yeah, but let's not feed my dog wine, please.
I won't.
I don't really want to.
I love animals.
Yeah.
Animals are great.
You don't feed them, you let them drink it.
Yeah.
Boom.
True.
I would. The rats apparently can do alcohol. I found out,
Huh.
but it has to be flat. They can't do like carbon, like fizzy beer or anything. Yeah,
No
but
fizzy
they can
lifting
do-
drinks for the rats.
No, but they can do because they much like seagulls, they can't really burp all that well, so it could cause an explosion. But they can get drunk. We've done beer for the rats before. It's funny. It is kind of funny.
What do you want to do? Let's get the rats drunk. All right.
I mean, you know, you get bored, you do weird shit.
No. I cannot relate to that.
What's the strangest thing you've ever done while bored?
While bored?
Yeah.
Oh, what's straight? Throw a ninja in a fan. That's probably what it was.
Again
Yeah,
and again.
and I get rats drunk.
Yeah.
So we're really not that far off from each other here.
America.
So,
Opulence of the West.
Tim, you vend comics.
I do. I
What?
sell them. I vend them.
Yeah, you buy them, you sell them. You
I tell people
vend
when
them
they're
at
awful.
shows. You tell them like good.
Have you ever told me when something was awful?
I don't point you in the wrong direction.
All right.
Yeah, no.
What if I was going? This is not the question I was going to ask. But what if I was going towards something and it was like an IP that I liked, but you knew it was terrible?
I would redirect you.
Really?
Yeah.
Even if it was like you like this thing, but that's not a good book.
So
like Max and his Ghostbusters comics that are very hit or miss.
they
if
are,
you knew
but
one was terrible, would you direct him away from it?
I would probably tell him.
He could try. He would fail.
I would try. I would say, look, if you love Ghostbusters, it's the end all be all for you. You will still like this, but
Yeah.
the casual Ghostbuster fan will not like it.
Okay, fair enough. Now, the question I was going to ask is, since you're here and I want you to entertain us because you're our guest, and that's how this works, dance, monkey, dance, what is the strangest thing anyone has ever tried to sell you, either at the comic book store or while vending at an event?
Porn always happens.
Really?
Porn all the
Is
time.
porn really
In the
that
store?
common?
all the
To the store?
Yeah.
Really?
Just the other day, somebody had brought in. This didn't happen to me. It happened to Al. Somebody had brought in long boxes, and they. Why don't people check things before they bring them in? It blows my mind. So he's just going through it, and it says like hustler, 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 and then it's like weird, like indie comic that's just pictures of domination.
Ah, yeah, porn comics.
Oh man,
Yeah.
it was. I don't know where those ended up.
But if that happens
Did
all
Al
the
buy them?
time... Did Al buy them? Yeah. If that happens all the time...
Technically, yes. When he bought the collection.
He bought the collection and they were throwing?
Mm-hmm.
Because, I mean, I did that. I bought a collection of comics and game stuff off Craigslist, and there were a bunch of, like, furry Dom comics in it.
They're out there if you want weird porn
Sex
comics.
Yeah,
they're out there.
They're out there. Wasn't there, like, a line of comics, I think it was, like, the 90s or whatever, that was, like, it was kind of like true life stories about porn stars?
Yes, they
Yeah.
have, that was like the thing that indie publishers would do. They do like the autobiographies of
Yeah.
like Rat and shit like that.
Wow.
Yeah, that's weird.
I
Like,
thought
that's
we were
fucking
Quiet
weird.
Riot.
I thought
Quiet
it was
Riot.
Riot. But yeah, and they would do like porn stars and people like that as well. Yeah,
yeah, and like TV.
Because I've seen those.
people
I've
and-
seen those at like weird comic shops and whatever.
like
every
the
now
one
and
book
again.
Lou reviewed about David Koresh. It's
That's
weird.
a weird fucking.
That was a cool
concept.
book as far as a piece of history, and like it was fairly
Yeah.
accurate.
But like, let's make a comic about the Branch Davidians. That doesn't make any
Yeah.
sense to me. As a person who creates media, it does not make any sense whatsoever to me to say, let's make a comic about the Branch Davidians. Like, let's make a documentary about David Koresh? Sure. Let's make a comic?
didn't have the funding, but
Cheaper,
the guy
yeah.
could draw.
Cheaper to do, cheaper
I
to do a
guess that's
comic if
true.
you have the means.
Mm-hmm.
Just I can art whatever. This is
And
a
it's
story
usually
that's
not
being
good
told.
art in those,
Yeah. Yeah.
which is of course subjective. But
So beyond porn, like,
Beyond
is
porn?
there anything else that, like, you were just like, are you, what? Like, it just caught you so by surprise. There's got to be something in your years of vending comics.
No, porn is the big thing.
Really? All right.
Porn. I mean, you get other stuff like magazines and
Do people bring in like statues and action figures? and stuff?
sometimes, but we don't really deal with
Right,
that. I
that's-
usually most people call and I redirect them there too.
Where do you redirect them around here for that sort of stuff, like statues
It
and
has to
toys
be a
and
House
stuff?
of Fun or something, right?
Yeah.
You could do that, yeah. A lot of times I'm just like, hey, I don't know. I really don't know. Google
Not-
it.
Yeah,
because,
not my...
There's
not
the one place in Pittman now, right?
Yes.
They sell toys, I think, too.
They
yeah, yeah. So, because I've actually got a pop vinyl figure that I'm looking to sell, It's a Mad Hatter. It's from one of the original.
They should
Disney-
eBay it.
Yeah, it's,
They eBay nice.
they do,
Yeah.
and it's from one of the first. It's one of the first Disney runs, and it's the package is still in decent condition. There's a bit of a ding in the plastic, but it's looking at eBay like $250.
Yeah, get rid of it.
And as I've said many times to people in my life, not often on recording, but everything I own does have a price. And something I paid $10 for, selling it for $200 plus, that's the price. 20 times what I paid for it is kind of my my comfort zone for getting rid of that, even though I love it. So,
if I can get rid of Glimpses of Nature, you can get rid of Pop Vinyl.
yeah. Well, you and those Glimpses of Nature, that was just that was stubbornness after a while.
That was me being right, is what that was.
Just-
It just took Louis Scott Vargas to
It took,
prove it.
took 3 years for you to be right, but you were right. And still right, because the card's still...
That
it's
card's
worth- It's
bonkers.
worth $30 now.
Yeah, that card is just great. It's 1 green. You draw a card whenever you cast a creature spell. You know what you do with green?
Cast
Cast
creature
creature
spells.
spells.
You're
This is
right.
Magic the Gathering we're talking about.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Every time you indicate the camera, just...
You got it. You got to give him love.
Paul, are you still in your first glass?
Yes.
Holy shit, how bad is that wine?
Dude, we only got 3.5
Let
hours
me-
on this card. So.
Let me taste this. Let me see. I know I'm...
Let me help. No, he's let us taste before. He let us taste the Renaissance Fair Riesling.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
There's Jesus in the wine.
No,
Oh,
that'd make it
yeah.
better.
You wet.
Listen, you could have brought wine. You just had me bring questionable bottles of wine from my closet. That's what you get.
That is
I didn't know about this until yesterday.
terrible. Oh my god, that's bad. I don't like wine, so that's worse, but... Oh my god.
Sorry.
That just tastes like burning.
Now I feel extra
If you were a
bad.
man like Tim, you'd be done almost.
That has no flavor to it. It just tastes like alcohol.
It's got sweet berry on.
We may be here for a while because that bottle is terrible. Unless Paul just mans up, chugs it, and ends the day.
No, that's not manning up.
Be a hero.
That's crazy. That's crazy talk.
Be a man, Hackett. Never thought Paul would go out like a chump. How many times are we going to quote the goddamn Macho Man album?
As many
Every
times
time?
as it's great, which
Yeah.
is every time.
Yeah.
That album is so much better than it has any right to be.
Cream of the crop.
I ran out the day that came out and bought it.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
It's great.
Yeah,
It's actually a...
Or I happened to be in like a
Yeah.
Walmart when it came out or something like that. I had
It
it.
is a surprisingly solid rap album for like a white dude who was not a rapper.
it's the novelty.
The
Doesn't wear
novelty,
off quickly,
yeah.
which is impressive.
Yeah.
But
Macho Man, you the illest.
God, I can't think the last time I
Who,
bought a
that
CD in the
wrestling
store was when Spinal Tap came back because it came out the same night as Ghostbusters, the video game. Remember we went to Walmart and grabbed both that night. So I was like, gotta play
Jesus.
Ghostbusters, the video
I
game.
don't remember the last time I bought a CD in a store.
I've bought CDs at shows.
Well, yeah. That's the thing is I buy CDs at
Yeah.
shows and on the internet, but from a store, it was probably 8 years ago when I was in Italy. But and that was just because it was a prog metal CD
yeah.
that I couldn't get in the States.
Yeah.
That's the year I bought Game with the video game.
I bought a Deftones album like 3 Deftones albums ago.
I'm sorry.
I like the Deftones.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh,
I hate the Deftones.
Brandon also.
I like them
Deftones
more than
guy.
this.
Yeah, I
that's for
hate
sure.
I hate Depeche Mode more when you're talking about bands that start with D that I don't like, but I really don't like the Deftones either. So
Well, let's just.
I'm trying to think of a band.
I'll just face
starts
this
with-
way for this.
Starting to think of a band with D that I don't like very much.
Everybody name a band with D that they don't like.
It's tough.
there's a bunch of like good
Dokken.
Dokken.
I like Dream Warriors. Can't say I like Dokken, but I do like the song Dream Warriors.
Do you like Dream Warriors because it's a good song or because you're like laughing at it? Or laughing at the video, more importantly.
I think I liked it.
Who were those guys?
I think I liked it when I was a kid, and since I watched that when I was a kid, I think it just gets the pass. But now it's like definitely cheesy, and I think I like it for that. But yeah, it's hard for me to dislike that song.
The song's really terrible.
It is.
It's really, really bad.
The video's great.
It is. Who were those guys?
So when they're just
What a
like
nightmare.
when they pop up in the one scene and they're just like pop in because it's just bad optical effects. Just
Yeah.
bop 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 bop.
It's really bad.
Forever. So good.
Bad metal is bad.
Fantastic.
There's a whole shitload of bad. Man, there's bad everything, but like,
Oh, yeah.
seems like bad metal is just like
Bad rap. There's a lot of that too.
There is a lot of bad rap. Yeah,
Bad country. A lot of that. A lot of that.
Tons
It's
of
called
that.
pop country.
yeah. Not a big fan of pop country. Never have been. Other than from my time working in a bar, any of the whatever the I'll shove a boot up your ass guy, that guy.
Toby Keith.
Yeah, the Toby Keith songs about rednecks and drinking and whatever, because they would get played ad nauseum in that fucking bar that I worked at, and they just get stuck in my fucking head, man. Like, I love this bar, and I got friends in low places, and all those
classic.
god awful country songs.
I think it was great when we had the celebration for season 2 of Memoirs at the end there, and we were playing all the weird shit on their jukebox.
Yeah.
It's like they have Reverend Peyton.
Yeah.
They have they have like Arsis. They have like all this weird metal.
Yeah, they had a bunch of weird stuff on
Yeah.
their jukebox. Well, so the cool thing about jukeboxes now, or nowadays, I guess, because I haven't played a jukebox in a couple of years, probably since that night. The cool thing about jukeboxes now is they have these Wi-Fi
Dude,
capable.
if this were Mario Kart, you'd be being lapped by Tim right now. This is ridiculous.
Blue Turtle Show. All day.
But yeah, we have the Wi-Fi capable jukeboxes, and if it's on, like, if the service
Yes.
has access to the song, you can download it, and it's super cool because then it'll store it in the memory on the unit, and then you can get stuff that's not shipped or packaged with the unit and still listen to it.
That's, yeah.
'Cause we used to get a bunch of weird stuff when I worked at D's on the jukebox there, because me and these two dudes who used to come in and drink a lot would often try to
It's worth just everybody. If you watch through this, you want to go back and just watch Paul as he drinks this wine and the
I
faces he
can't
makes.
fucking believe how little of that wine you've drunk.
What do you mean? I'm almost through this glass.
You're halfway through
I was gonna say
that
halfway
glass.
is kind of a way to say almost, I suppose.
You're terrible.
Let me try this. This is terrible.
I feel like I should help him, but like I might
No,
die.
you can't. You
Yeah.
can't help him. It's against the
you
rules.
can't drink more than a bottle. Yeah.
Well, no. Well, yeah, that's against the rules. But you also can't help him because
It tastes like wine to me.
ugh,
I don't like wine very much, so
that was god awful.
this is fine.
That was god awful.
I'm so sorry.
It tastes almost like they poured some cocktail sauce in there.
Oh,
Kind of get that vibe off of it.
tastes like cocktail onions more accurately.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, it tastes like cocktail onions.
Yeah, it's a little not good.
However, cocktail onions not that bad. The
Don't
pearl
like
onions.
Don't like wine.
Yeah, not a big wine.
Cocktail onions I'll live with, but I'm not a big wine drinker.
Doesn't sound very classico.
It's old. It's aged.
Classico Superior.
Imagine how it'd be worse if it was just out of the earth there. I think.
It's cooking
supposed to-
sherry.
Isn't it supposed
We can't
to mellow
tell,
out
it's
with
in-
age?
Italian.
Maybe
Wine
that's what
is-
it is. Maybe that's the problem.
Wine mellows if aged correctly. Wine becomes crap if aged improperly, just like beer. So it can be a dangerous prospect. And that, my friends, is the problem of doing a video, a vodcast instead of a podcast, is you can see when I yawn instead of me just going silent for a
Well, it's
second.
not like
when we
last night when we were
podcast.
podcasting at 2 a.m. It's currently like, 4:30 or what is it? I don't
5:30
know.
in the afternoon.
5:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be yawning. It's your fault.
Yeah, what
You
the
should
fuck?
be. You should be vilified for yawning.
How about I come over there and vilify your face?
Whoa.
With what?
The cat.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, I'm allergic to. Get
Yeah.
puffy.
Get puffy.
No one wants that.
Is
I'm already
that your excuse? I was going to say, is that your
puffy.
excuse?
I'm already puffy, so you don't need puffy.
You're already having an allergic reaction to everything.
already puffy.
Looked like you were gesturing at Angus there
Angus.
on your shirt.
Oh, yes, Angus Scrimm.
Yes,
He's a tall man.
he's tall. Not anymore.
No,
Dead man now.
tall court.
Not the dead man though.
If he's, we're gonna find out if he's truly the tall man. Because if he's back,
Then he's the tall man.
then he's the tall man.
Yeah, we know the tall man though. The Darren tall man.
We do.
Shout out to Darren if you're watching.
Whoa, what are you yawn?
Oh, don't do that. Now I'm gonna
He's
yawn
now
again.
yawning.
That's
It
already-
started.
Shame on you.
I drank wine.
Yeah, that's my excuse. I had a beer earlier and a wine now.
I drank some wine.
So
Yeah,
sorry.
yet again we have a wrestling fan on the VOD here. Daryl, now Tim.
That's
Wrestling
right.
fans. Yeah.
We
That's
talk a lot about
right.
wrestling on this show.
Yeah, which is weird because none of the main hosts watch it.
No,
Like,
I watched it.
I used
no,
to
I
watch
used to watch wrestling 15 years
I
ago.
watched
but-
Paul on it when I was at Tim's house.
ECW.
I used to love going to the ECW shows.
Oh yes, the best.
Used to be
I
great.
really wish I could have gone to an ECW show at the arena.
There's some great moments. I remember I went to the arena once. I went more to the Blackwood CYO when they would run it out of there. But I remember the Blue Meanie comes out, right? Everybody loves the Blue Meanie. He's
Oh,
just
yeah.
like this laughable character,
Yep.
and he's a nice guy. And he comes out, and everybody's yeah. He gets like the biggest pop of the night. Everybody loves him.
Huh.
And then Bam Bam Bigelow's music hits. and you just hear a hush over the crowd, like, fuck, they're gonna kill the meanie. No, don't hurt the meanie. And he crushed him in like a minute.
Yeah.
But what's
At least he
great
didn't go
is...
through the ring.
Yeah, he didn't go through the ring, but he did crush him in like 2 seconds.
Yep.
And then, he leaves, and then the meanie gets up and gets like a standing ovation. They're like, congratulations at, not dying.
Yeah. You didn't actually die. You just got the shit beat out of you.
And then Bigelow came out and wrestled Taz at another one I went to, and they wrestled for like an hour. And, like, went out to the parking lot and smashed cars and shit and came back in. Like, that was a real thing. They did that all the time.
That's crazy. Those ECW cats were crazy. I loved
ECW.
I remember watching that shit on, like late night cable access when we were kids.
I had so much fun when I went there. I was in 8th grade, 7th grade.
You went to the arena?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
How am I just knowing this now?
Yeah, it was
That's awesome.
It was
Let's go to
spectacular.
the arena now.
I think it still does wrestling.
It does.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'd go.
I'm in.
I wish they would.
I would love to go watch local wrestling.
Yeah, we
I
went
wish
to the one in
there were,
Yeah, we were up in
Salem
college.
Community
or the one at Salem Community College.
Went and saw hentai.
Yeah, hentai.
That Mike
Now
did.
Super Hentai,
The one that Mike did for
I think he's now
Extreme
super,
hentai.
Super hentai. There's another version of hentai. He keeps dying and coming back as better versions of hentai.
Which one had Rufio? Was that the one at the school, or was that the one? No, that was the one we went to.
Yeah, oh yeah, that was Rufio.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude looked like Rufio. And we were the loudest ones there, so all our chants picked up. Yeah. Yelling bangerang at that guy. He was pretty pissed off.
Who did we see when we went to Salem for Mike's fundraiser piece?
We saw Scott Steiner.
Scott Steiner.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Old guy. Russian.
Nikolai Volkov?
Yes.
Yeah.
Nikolai Volkov.
Nikolai
Yeah.
Volkov. Yeah, and then a bunch of unknowns.
Yep.
Doink the Clown, or Evil Doink.
Evil
Doink.
Evil Doink.
There was like 12 doinks.
Yeah, this was Evil Doink. These are the ones I remember from that night. The only names that I remember.
I always liked that there was charity wrestling events.
Yeah.
My buddy did one, and I got my picture taken with the fabulous Moolah and Mae Young.
Wow.
You just feel like the claw coming around your back, and I'm just like, oh. I'm like, get away, Mae Young. Get away. Kicking her away.
That's pretty great.
That's funny, though.
I have my picture with Gilbert.
Nice.
Gilbert.
That's pretty awesome.
That's pretty great.
Yep. Doesn't get better than Gilbert.
Yeah, I went to one of those...
Like a Fishman Goldberg?
No, he's Tiny Goldberg.
Yeah, Little Man Goldberg.
Wayne Gill.
Yeah, Gilberg. I went to one of those WWF house shows at Philly, one of the non-taped event
Those could be fun.
shows when I was in, I want to say middle school age. I don't remember exactly when it was. But that was when the oddities were big in the WWF
Nice.
and ICP and all that sort of era of WWF wrestling. That was really interesting. Did see The Rock there. Did see him give somebody the people's elbow. So that was fun.
That's our elbow.
that's my elbow. Typical Philadelphia. They started throwing a bunch of shit because The Rock ended up losing that match.
Yep.
And the ring was literally... Also probably because they knew they weren't being filmed.
Was that when he was popular, or was it his face, or when he was a heel?
That was when he was face.
Okay.
That was when he was face, and he lost
So
to-
good as a heel.
Oh, yes.
I just think he was a great character for wrestling to have, face or heel.
I guess.
And
He was a good bad guy, though.
He's a great
Yeah.
heel.
Yeah, really good.
better than Triple H at any point in his career.
Triple H isn't bad.
I'm just not a big
Another
fan.
good bad. Like
I just don't think he's a very good actor.
when he first came out, and he was just like this mysterious, like, what is this dude? And no one ever survived the pedigree.
Yeah.
No.
Was bad. Was that the dog? It made
Yeah.
that squeal.
It was the dog.
A weird squeal,
He's
dog.
drunk.
I think he's stressing, to be honest. Again, too much stimulation. So, you'll be alright, bub.
He seems to be okay.
Yeah, you'll be alright. See? Just hang there, bub.
But
But yeah, I was never a big fan of Triple H, or I guess I can't... Or
who's your
not a fan of
who's your
anything.
top wrestler? Who's your favorite wrestler?
Current or old school?
Whichever, whoever you
Both.
would rank in the top.
Current.
Current
Eric
and
Young.
Okay.
He's not on anything right now. He left TNA and did one show for NXT, which is WWE's
Yes.
farm system.
pretty much. Yep, and it's way better than the actual WWE.
That's what
program.
everybody
Yeah,
says.
that's what any wrestling fan
It's
I know
really
loves
good.
NXT.
They're
NXT 's
trying
great.
harder.
Yeah, it's amazing, and he'll show up in WWE eventually. They're gonna do a whole draft thing. It'll be good.
What are you
It'll
going
be
to draft
fun.
out of NXT?
Absolutely, they're gonna call up everybody because they don't have good talent.
Are they
now.
they're in a talent slump now?
Everybody's hurt.
Uh,
Like they had so many injuries in a row. They had like 20 guys hurt. It was horrible. But I mean, the program's hard to watch as it is sometimes. All the other wrestling, Ring of Honor and TNA and all that other stuff, I like watching that.
Yeah.
WWE, I watch it on fast forward. It's just
Really?
hard. So, yeah, you know. There's different people, especially on Twitter, that'll break it down by like how much of it was commercial breaks, how much of it was promos. It's always
It's like a football game.
Yeah, it's always like an hour of commercials and like an hour of promo, and then like 20 minutes of wrestling, and,
Right.
and then BS filling in the rest of the time. It's horrible.
Now, do you also like MMA or are
I
you,
do.
Okay.
Yep.
You're not just a traditional.
Nothing about me.
professional
I have
wrestling.
no traditions.
Yeah.
None.
He looked so serious when he said that.
Yeah.
No,
No
traditions.
Fair, because I've tried to watch various MMA, and I kind of get it, but I kind of like don't. So
I like it. I know a lot of people who are getting in just want to see the knockouts,
yeah,
but I really enjoy the ground game, and if you get a good mix, it can be really good.
okay,
You know, some guys who maybe are versed in submission fighting, like, you know, the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu guys.
the
It's
BJJ
really good.
guys.
The BJJs. Mm-hmm.
Curses.
Ladies.
Curses.
Or whatever. You know, you do what you do. But yeah, no, I like MMA. I like wrestling.
The one thing I do like about MMA is that it is, you know, legit dudes fighting dudes, and
Yep.
there's no storyline component to it.
Right, because storylines are usually terrible.
Yeah.
I watch wrestling for the wrestling.
Yeah, I'm glad we're past the sort of word I refuse to pronounce because I've heard it pronounced 12 different times. It begins with K.
Kayfabe?
K. Is that actually how it's meant to be pronounced?
Kayfabe.
Because I've heard, I can't even tell you how many different ways
I've
that
only
word
heard it pronounced that way.
Okay.
Kayfabe is correct.
Okay, because now that we're kind of past the
We
the
broke it.
super intense kayfabe WWF period, it's a little bit better probably, but like that, like so much weird storyline shit, and it's just like, it's like I'm watching a bad soap opera that occasionally has fighting.
Yeah, that's right.
And
Yeah.
I could just be watching a telenovela for that, and brushing up on my Spanish at the same time.
That's right.
Though if
There's
one
Spanish
of the, I was
wrestlers.
just saying, if one of the
Come on.
one of the Guerreros is wrestling, I can do both.
You can watch WrestleManiac, the horror movie.
I don't know that one.
It's about an undead luchador who kills a bunch of kids who go to this old town. They have to try to unmask him in order to stop him.
Of course,
Oh
that's
my
what you
god,
do
that
to a
sounds
luchador.
amazing.
That's how you take a
WrestleManiac.
luchador's
Can we
power.
can we do a commentary for that? 'Cause I'm
Sure.
in. I'm in if we do that.
All right.
WrestleManiac.
WrestleManiac's the name of the movie.
What a terrible idea.
Brother. It's really funny because there's like two chicks in it, and it's like the trailer's like just trying so hard to milk the fact that there's boobs in this movie.
Dude, boobs, come on.
That's like, it's just, they're
Come
trying
watch.
so hard. It's like wrestling and boobs, come on.
I mean,
wrestling-
with their boobs.
Wrestling does that now, right? Big female component since I stopped watching it. It used to just be like the girls were like, you know, ringside or occasionally would fight and it was like a big deal.
Well, there was China. There was Lita.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there was
but
a
that
few,
was like the
but-
end of
yeah.
it. Like they would fight occasionally.
But now they have the
it's
whole like
huge,
divas
yeah.
thing.
Well, now they have good female wrestlers because of NXT.
Yeah.
All the ones that are highlighted now pretty much came up
Yeah.
from NXT.
Because like I remember like Trish Stratus.
She was just like a model who they
Yeah.
taught to wrestle, and she did become very good.
Yeah. Well, Stephanie McMahon, obviously.
She's not very good.
No. Also not very attractive, so she really didn't have anything going for her.
Money.
Well, I was
Yeah,
gonna say
lots of
she's real
steroids.
attractive if you look at her bank account.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's what happens when your grandfather starts what would go on to become the largest wrestling promotion in the world. So, family business and all that. So,
It's a fun game.
what, family business?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a good card game.
it's a good card game.
Absolutely.
Maybe we'll get to know your secrets yet.
It's a mystery.
Yeah.
It's there.
Yeah.
I'll be sober by the time the cat gets off of it. It'll
Yeah,
be
seriously.
great.
With the rate Paul's drinking wine, we're not going to need to keep you around after
Oh,
this. You can just
first glass down.
One glass down, we are
Hey!
Oh, darn.
40 minutes into this
Looks
goddamn...
like the bottle's empty.
Yeah, I don't think so, Paul.
Uh,
You've committed to this.
there's an empty bottle. What are you talking about?
Oh, no, the bottle's empty.
I'll let you off the hook if you do one more glass. Doesn't have to
One
be
more
as,
glass?
It doesn't have to be as full as the first glass.
Can I help him?
No.
Damn it!
You got to drive eventually.
I tried.
Well, no, two...
Yeah,
I
eventually.
drove Paul here knowing that he was going to drink that. One half glass. Like, half is what you had.
God, no.
No.
Well, then the episode will never end.
This is true.
Ah.
How far
We
are
can
we
talk
into
about
this?
wrestling.
40 minutes.
40 minutes? It's
40
about as long
minutes.
as the normal. We'll have to go about 10 more minutes or so. And
Yeah, we'll call it somewhere between 50 and 60 minutes.
Yeah.
It won't be a big thing.
we'll let you be
I'm
with
so
us. It's
sorry.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
you
sorry,
drink this
Paul.
bottle here.
You're a goddamn failure, Paul.
You drink a glass of this.
If you drink a half a glass, I'll drink a glass.
No.
Fuck that.
Hey,
If-
man, you're a whole chicken. I can drink a half a chicken.
No!
Paul, if I drink a whole glass, will you finish the bottle?
No.
No!
It's awful.
It's pretty bad.
It is not great, but
This is why I usually pick it.
Well, you need to keep reserve wines for when this comes up. You always got to keep a bottle in reserve. Pick your favorite.
this is just in case. Yeah.
Yeah. Need some Lambrusco. Keep an Arbor Mist on tap just in case.
Keep an Arbor Mist on tap.
Nice and fruity, yeah.
All right, so since we're gonna try to, ramp this down or up or ramp it in some direction.
It'll be ramped.
So
What?
we're gonna
What?
ramp it.
All right.
Huh?
Your
What?
secrets are available.
What?
Tim.
Once the butt goes down, do you like that YouTube world?
Yeah.
Cat butt.
Cat butt.
Cat butts.
Cat bus.
Oh!
Cat
He
butt.
was fat when he made it.
Cat bug.
Tim, you can get to it.
All right, so
All right,
Share
let's.
your secret.
I drew a thing. No!
Had to shift a little. Wow.
Yeah, when I shifted, Tim was able to get there. So.
I think I know what this is since you said those
You do
words.
know what this is. So,
Oh, Max told me about this, but I've not seen it.
I've showed no one.
oh, you're a good guy. So, we've been talking. If you've listened to the podcast, which if you're watching this,
You really should have listened to
why the
Paul
hell
Ryan's
aren't you?
process.
Yeah. What are you doing?
Also, I spoiled it on Capes and Scowls as well. when I was
yes. You did.
I didn't talk about it when I was on Capes and Scouts because I was too busy.
You're on a team. You were in and out.
Foops and
remember.
Mookopus.
Foops and Mokopus.
Yeah.
My favorite dictionary.
Look
Um,
it up in your Foops and
Gotta be
Mookopus.
Merriam-Webster's.
It's Foops and Mokopus. So much stupidity happens on podcasts, doesn't it?
That podcast.
That's why
was-
podcasting's so good.
Yeah, that podcast was powerful good,
It's
though.
crazy. People just switching in and out every 10 minutes.
Yeah, that was one of the best podcasts I've ever been a part of. No offense to the people I normally podcast with, but
It's a good idea.
that was a true pile of genius.
It was an idea that happened in the parking lot waiting for everybody to show up.
Yeah, yeah. Lou jokingly suggested it, and then we ran with it. So.
Well, he didn't think we'd actually do it, and then we're
Yeah.
like, yeah, no, let's do it.
No,
And
this
he's
is a
like,
great idea,
"Ooh,
Lou,
I
we're
don't
doing
know.
this."
Might have been too many people for just sitting in one group.
Oh,
Yeah,
for sure.
It was a
would've
lot
been
of
tough.
people. Half the people love that episode, and half the people hate it, and that's fine, because I'm looking to only care about half my audience.
Wow.
Yeah, no, I don't need
You have a
all.
large enough audience that you only care about half of them.
No,
That must
I,
be nice.
I don't need any of you. I don't love you. You don't have to listen.
Also, if we kidnap you, will
Yes.
you join our podcast for good and leave that other nonsense behind?
Um,
Also, if we kidnap you, will you
Eventually,
leave
I
your
feel-
wife and children behind?
I think you'd be more willing to do that.
they're not going to watch this. I'm safe.
Yeah. I thought that about Foops and Mookopus, and
They
then
don't listen.
that fucker listened to it, and that fucker listened to it.
Yes.
You know who hasn't listened to it yet? That fucker.
Max might listen, but those other two won't. Screw them.
Yeah,
It's Podkicker's fault because I had to reboot it and it's a mess.
but either way,
So good.
I wound up it being listened to by the two people I assured would not listen to it.
It's a trap.
They're good guys. You just don't give them credit.
So yes, we've talked about a thing.
Yes, so you guys talked about the Last Karate Pimp. So I have created artwork for the Last Karate Pimp, and this is for you guys. It's not very good because I'm not that good of an artist, but
You're a better
it's
artist
what
than I am.
Yes. So
Yeah, but your layout is great.
So if you want to Google Double Dragon box art, this will be the cover for the first issue of the next Karate Pimp.
Bigger here.
Yes. it
Ah!
will be.
I can take a picture too and blow it up.
Yeah, we can also scan it.
Thrown in a frame before I got here. You know it. That is too small of a frame.
That is great, Paul.
So
take a
you've
look
got
at
some
this.
original art
And
that
some-
you can hang on your wall when you're podcasting, whatever you want to do, it's yours.
That's amazing. I love that.
Yeah, so now that being said, this thing is not coming out anytime soon.
No,
That's right.
but it will eventually grace
But I
you.
guarantee it will come out eventually because
Yeah.
the art isn't a big part of what I do, but it's part of what I do, and it takes a very long time.
Oh, art is a process.
Art is a pain in the balls.
Art is a
So
process.
My balls hurt, so that's how it is right now.
Balls
Not
are
unreasonable.
Balls are empty.
It's good though. Came out well.
Thank you.
No, we'll put it up. Max will put it up. Thanks for moving, Jack.
Yeah, I can just take like a picture of it and put a
Picture, or I can have Natalie
probably
scan
drop
it.
it right in front of my face, like
The spiral.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did transition the last time I put an image on. I did a funny transition because I was like, I can finally use these stupid transitions.
Star wipes, dude. Star wipes.
I'm just not a confident enough editor to understand, like, when you watch something like Star Wars, for example,
that has
those
crazy
transitions.
wipes.
It's like,
yeah.
I don't have the balls to do this. Like,
I
it's
say
just
you put
dissolve.
one in. I say you do it. I don't care how it turns out.
Oh yeah, and here it's great. I can just go nuts. Like, I can do the titles. I can do whatever I want. I'm the boss.
It's you and Tony Danza.
Yep.
Ah. The answer of
Angela,
who's the boss.
Mona.
Charles is in charge, in case you're wondering.
Ah. But
He
who's
is.
the boss?
Tony Danza.
I see.
What was your favorite of the 80s and 90s sitcoms?
It could be... What comes to mind is Taxi.
Okay.
Was that 80s or was that 70s?
I think it was
70s,
70s.
80s.
Taxi was great. Taxi's my pick.
Taxi's a good pick.
I mean, I watched all of that. I watched Happy Days and all of that. It was great.
What about Greatest American Hero?
Yeah, I watched that. Not religiously, like I would Taxi. Taxi's
So wait,
the best.
how much older than me are you?
A bunch.
How old are you?
Several.
I'm trying.
You're gonna have to cut me in half and count the rings. I am 33.
Yeah, that's what I thought. You're not that much older than I am. So a lot of the '90s sitcoms, like the TGIF stuff, would have been right in your
Sure.
wheelhouse too, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm. But I loved
Yeah.
old stuff. I loved,
Yeah.
all the 70s stuff was in replays when I was little,
Yeah.
so I know all that. I was a
Mhm.
child of television.
Yeah.
I watched all of them
Sorry.
many times.
Child of what?
Television.
Was that like the internet?
It's like the internet, but you had no control over it, and you just had to watch
Wow.
We had some
Some
control. There were
A
channels.
remote control, you should
it.
say.
You had control, but
Yeah, there was
I
just
could watch something else, or I could watch this Ninja Turtles episode for the 37th time.
I mean,
Krang
if
will
you're
have
anything,
a mace come out of his hand.
if you're anything like
That'd be
Jared, you'll watch that Turtles episode for the 37th time
Mm.
today.
You'll elect to do that on DVD.
Yeah.
Did you go see the new movie?
No.
I'm gonna talk to you because you're right next to the camera. Did you watch that new movie? Did you?
He avoided it.
Did you?
He didn't give it its
Are you
money.
going to?
Not until somebody lends it to me on DVD.
I will go with you, and we will watch it together.
Oh man.
Don't do it. Don't give him your money, man. Michael Bay will keep working if you give him your
He's
money.
never gonna stop.
Yeah, it's true.
Just I'll pay you to
He's
watch
gonna
something else.
bastardize
We'll go see
everything.
something else. It'll be fine.
Peaceful resistance.
I'm sure there's a. I won't go see Ghostbusters for the same reason.
What was the movie reviewers that were on YouTube that would animate themselves reviewing? Spill.com?
I
Did
think
you ever
that was
watch
it.
them? They had the best review of Transformers because they said, "What if Michael Bay? They thought he was raped by an explosion when he was little." Because why else would there be explosions in all of his movies? It was the funniest shit.
You were
Wow.
touched by an explosion, weren't you?
Yeah, it was pretty fun.
That's ridiculous.
That is ridiculous.
Did you enjoy the first Ninja Turtles? The
No,
remake?
it was terrible, but I'll go
Okay.
see the one with Jared.
Only if you guys make a podcast out of going to see bad movies.
I mean, we've done
in
that.
in the theater? Piss everyone off.
Yeah.
Boy, this movie sucks.
Do a live,
Shut up!
do a live MST3K style
Yeah.
rundown as the movie's going on.
That's ridiculous.
Go
That's
see
a good
a-
idea.
A later showing when nobody's there.
That's what people
Yeah.
did while we were watching The Witch.
Ugh. I don't know what's happening. It's been a minute, and they've explained literally everything.
Yeah.
Was The
I don't
Witch good?
understand the words they're saying because they're speaking
This English language isn't my language, I guess.
Yeah.
Was it Middle English, right? Or late Middle English?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. People are real dumb.
Juds.
Real dumb. I feel like people shouldn't be allowed in the movies. Like, I feel like.
Previous Fireside Chat guest Daryl didn't understand that movie, so...
Here's the thing is, like,
It was great.
the farther and farther the older and older I get, I feel like there's going to be a movie that's going to be important enough I'm going to do what that guy supposedly did. I don't know if it's real or not. Where he bought all the tickets to the Star Wars theater so that he could watch, like, a private screening of it. Like, I feel like one day I'm just, like, if there's an important enough film, I'm just going to do that.
I got to watch a private screening of 30 Days of Night, but that's just because there was nobody else in the theater.
Yeah, I've gone a couple of times where there's been no, and when we saw Expendables 2.
Yeah.
Hellraiser 4. Bloodline. Yep. Nobody.
Sorry, you saw that in the theater.
It was alright. My favorite movie theater going experience was when I was dating a girl and she wanted to go see Pootie Tang.
Oh, boy.
Jesus.
And it was us and one other couple in there, and we left really early. And
That movie's terrible.
And as we're leaving, we see the guy eating the girl out in the movie theater. And I was like, wow. How did you even get sexually aroused watching Pootie Tang?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure
He
there was a
wanted
guy
Poontang.
jerking off when we went and saw Rosemary's Baby.
Yeah. Definitely.
He likes babies. What do you...
Never in a movie theater, but I have seen a public sex act being performed when I was driving with Natalie in Delaware. We were driving past a bunch of cars were parked on the side of the road by like a river kind of like park thing.
Down by the river.
And
In a van.
I saw a guy, and I was like, from a distance, it was like, looks like his pants are down, and his pants are around his ankles, and he was thrusting in, and she was like, her legs were out. She was like splayed out on the back seat of the car, and he was standing next to the vehicle, just going to fucking town. So naturally, I rolled down the window, screamed, "Do it, Doug," as loud as I possibly could, and kept going.
And this has been Dan Explains Sex.
That's
This
how
is what
sex
you do.
works. Yeah, you gotta scream, "Do it, Doug," Mallrats style, if it's gonna happen.
I agree. I agree with your mole rats.
That is Mallrats, right? Do it,
That
Doug?
is indeed.
Yeah. Right, it's Jay screams at the dating game
Correct.
thing. Yeah. Do
Because
it, Doug!
he's Bachelor number 3 or whatever, and he
Yeah.
uses a fake name.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Absolutely.
Making whoopee.
Ah, yes.
What, like fucking? That movie's good.
It is.
Movie's good.
I'm cautiously optimistic for Mallrats 2, the 10-episode miniseries.
Just give me Moose Jaws.
Yeah, give me
Moose
those
Jaws.
Jaws. A lot of people really hating on Yoga Hosers.
Well, it's a kid's... Like, I don't think they were expecting it to be...
A PG-13,
Yeah.
like, madcap comedy.
Yeah, I don't think they were expecting, like, kids, like, adventure kind of weirdness.
It's like Kevin Smith makes The Goonies, is
Yeah.
kind of what it is.
Right, yeah, it's just Clerks plus The Goonies is
Yeah.
like, what the hell am I watching? And I don't think people are
And,
ready
like,
for that.
apparently a lot of people in Canada are super not with the hyper-Canadian feel to it, like the
That was
and everything else.
That was the most annoying part of the trailers when they kept saying sorry when
Yeah.
they were letting people out. Like,
See,
it was
I think that's
too
funny to
forced.
me.
It
I
was
love
too
Canada.
much.
I think that's funny to me. That is actually just funny to me.
You can only think it's funny because it's not actually that funny.
It's pretty funny.
It's funny to me.
That's what it's all about.
Making me laugh. That is what it's all about.
Mm-hmm.
It's not as good as Canadian Body Snatchers. I'll tell you what.
Well, no. That,
One day we will do that as well.
that might be the greatest idea we've ever come up with on our podcast.
Eric Young was in. We can get him. We'll get him. He'll do it.
That's right. You tweeted at him about that.
I did.
Yeah.
He's a good guy.
Yeah. You got to cement that that internet relationship with him now, so when he gets pulled up to the big leagues, you can be like, I know that
do.
guy.
Hotel riding.
All my Twitter friends as opposed to my real friends.
Yeah. Tail riding,
Tires.
man.
He's only your Twitter friend because you haven't met him in real life yet.
That's true.
Is he Canadian?
He is.
Ah.
And then we'd be blood brothers. Right?
Sure.
Is that how that works?
I don't know.
Oh. Not sure either. So.
You just cut yourself.
You cut
Shake
yourself.
hands, drink blood or something. I've seen Assault on Precinct 13.
So have I, but I had forgotten that there was
That's that scene in the beginning.
blood brothering
Yeah.
involved. Yeah.
Yeah. What a good
At
movie.
least we're not Eskimo Brothers.
Can't wait to see you, John Carpenter.
Is that Eskimo Brothers? Is that what it's called? When you you've each had sex with the same girl. That's what Eskimo Brothers is.
Is that what that is?
Yeah, I don't know why it's called that.
So like
But-
ice climbers?
Ice climber.
You just tie a rope to this chick. You both have this rope tied to this chick.
Ice climbers.
Pink parka, blue parka. It's all good.
I'm gonna look up Eskimo Brothers and see if there's a reason.
Kinky. Very kinky.
Eskimo Brothers. Let's see if there's a reason for this being called such.
I have an idea of what we should do to Paul when he doesn't finish a bottle of wine, but
Break it over his
I
head?
feel pretty bad already, so I'm not going to suggest it.
All right.
Ah, the men are now bonded by having shared the same igloo at one time or another.
That's so fucked up.
Mhm. The warmest place and the coldest place.
Yep, Eskimo Brothers.
Blubber.
Mucklucks.
Galoshes.
They don't wear galoshes.
Who are the whales?
No,
No, the Eskimos. They wear mucklucks.
Mucklucks.
Say it.
Muckluck.
No, say it louder.
Muckluck.
Oh.
He's good, eh?
I didn't want to say it.
Wow, okay. I think we have to end it here.
What? This isn't going to go on for 4 more years? until it
No,
finishes the
no,
wine?
I think we're going to have
We'll
to...
just let it
Fucking
evaporate.
no balls.
What, you're actually going to close it out in a nice rolling fashion? Not just,
Yep.
This is the thing. Bye-bye.
Hey, man, I like that. I think it's funny.
It worked.
It worked.
That's why I was
So-
surprised you weren't doing it.
Well, I mean, it's a thing we could talk about, or, we could just